It's 3:30 in the morning. I just got out of the shower. Time to get coffee and start doing show prep. Starbucks isn't open in the morning, so what I do is I get my Starbucks the day before, sometimes on the way into the radio station in the morning, and then I heat it up in the microwave. And I have 2 cups of that before I leave in the morning. I know it seems a little crazy. My daughter tells me I'm nuts, but I need that espresso that's in that Starbucks coffee, and I haven't had a lot of luck with espresso machines at home, so it's easier for me just to do this, heat it up for 1 minute and 30 seconds, and that's it. And then just add some creamer. Okay, so the coffee is almost done, and then the dog is up early with me, and she's a little upset because she's getting her teeth cleaned today, so we could not feed her after 8 o'clock last night, so she's up early with me. Here, she wants me to feed her, and I can't because she can't have any food or water till after her teeth cleaning. So, there's the coffee, all hot and ready. So I got my coffee, and now I'm starting my show prep, and I usually start with this website. It's a very good conservative news website. It's called Trending Politics. It doesn't update as much as I'd like, but they always got a lot of stories that I don't see anywhere else. Like, look at this one. I bet his wife's not pleased. Multiple Disney employees part of 108 arrested in human trafficking sting. Wow, and I was going through the news on my phone, lying in bed before I even got up and took a shower. I didn't see that story anywhere. So that's the kind of story you find on this website that you don't see anywhere else. But I go to a lot of other sites too, Gateway Pundit, Breitbart, all the main sites, and a few others. And when I get through about half a dozen or so sites that I make sure that I check before I go on the air every day, if I have time, I'll go through some other news online publications and find things. But this Disney human trafficking sting, that sounds like a real hot one. In fact, that may be the thumbnail for my YouTube stream today. I'm not sure because I have just started going through the news, but so far, that Disney employee arrest, that sounds like a big one. I keep these on my desk. These are the leaves I picked up off the ground from Mar-a-Lago. So these are Donald Trump leaves from Mar-a-Lago. They're starting to get dry, harden a little bit. I'll put them in a book somewhere and keep them, but kind of like a good luck charm. I just got these a week and a half ago when I made that vlog walking to Mar-a-Lago. These are the audio sound bites that I pulled out of the news that I'm going to air on the program today. That first one is Biden in 2006 talking about high gas prices when he was in the Senate, blaming it on a lack of energy policy by the Bush administration, GW. There's another one there, creepy Biden to kids. Yesterday, he just got really creepy with some kids at the White House. I'm going to play that. There was a great exchange with Jonah Goldberg and Ana Navarro on CNN. Ana Navarro had a meltdown with Jonah Goldberg, who talked about that a child is in more danger on the way to school in a car than they are in danger by guns, and she just flipped out. And then there's a great moment with Ted Cruz. There's a couple others up there too, but I go through the news, I find some audio, I may have to edit it a little bit for time and everything, and then I sometimes have to process the audio to turn the volume up so you can hear it better on the air, and it's in these MP3 file formats, and I put that on my flash drive, take it to the radio station, and just transfer it to the radio station computer before I go on the air. And this was the first thumbnail I made for the YouTube video today about Ted Cruz, which is just a great moment with Ted Cruz. And I was going to make this the thumbnail instead of that Disney story, because that Disney story was just an update from a March arrest. It wasn't news. So it's like, that's back in March. We're in June now. And this Ted Cruz mic drop moment, which I am going to air on the show today, I was going to make that the thumbnail and the title for the YouTube stream today. But then I found something else that I thought was a little more interesting for the thumbnail. And that's this with Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon, he's facing the same charges as Peter Navarro, defying the January 6th committee. So he is subpoenaed through his lawyers Pelosi and a bunch of the members of the January 6th committee. And I thought that, since the January 6th committee hearings beginning tomorrow, I thought this with Steve Bannon was just a little bit better for the thumbnail. But you know, the problem with thumbnails and titles on the live stream, you have to make one, you have to have a title, and it's really only one of maybe a dozen stories that I'm going to talk about on the show. But you have to have a title, you have to have a thumbnail, and you got to be specific about it. So what I try to do when I pick a thumbnail and a title, like it's going to be this one today, typically I will start the top of the show talking about that particular issue. In case someone clicks on the YouTube video for this topic, I want them to hear it as early as they can. So I will lead with this today when I go on the air. Now it's just before 5 a.m. I'm heading out. I got to get my MAGA hat. And then underneath that's my iPad, which I'll use during the show to go through all the news and all the stories I have. When I get in the car, I always turn on the news just to make sure there hasn't been some huge, major breaking news event happening that I missed in all my show prep or in the last 10 minutes since I was looking at the news because I was getting ready to leave. And usually what they're talking about on Fox and CNN or MSNBC, if I check them all out, are things that I've already seen and know about. Rarely is there a major breaking story that I haven't already seen, but you always want to make sure. And once I'm on the air, I've got my iPad and I'm going through the news and everything, so if something major happens, I'll get the notification, but I always do that. So then when I drive in, after I leave the house, I'll give Steve a call and we'll go over, you know, things that he's seen in the news, things I've seen in the news, and we'll talk a little bit about what we're going to bring up on the show today. Here I'm calling Steve. So I'm here at Starbucks and I'm going to pick up my coffee actually for tomorrow morning because it's easier to get it now than later in the day. There's a long line here and they have not opened yet. They don't open till 5:30 and it's only 5:11. And this car that is up there, that car is always here first no matter what time I get here. And I can never beat this person to Starbucks. And they've been at Starbucks before me every day for like 2 years. And then I'm talking to Kathy on the Bluetooth. Hey, Kathy.
Hi.
So Kathy's not always up this early, but she's up today. She was up when I left. So we're talking a little bit about some of the things I want to bring up on the air. And she's going through the news to say, oh, did you read about this? Did you hear about that? And we do that a little bit. If Kathy's up, on my way in to the radio station. So they open up at 5:30. I'll get my coffee for tomorrow that I'll microwave tomorrow. And then I'll head to the radio station, which really, the radio station's only about 15 minutes from our house. And I'm almost halfway there at the Starbucks. So it only takes less than 10 minutes to get there from here after I get my coffee. And then I'll get to the radio station in plenty of time to set up. So I just got to the radio station. I have to be on the air in about 12 minutes. That light up there is my studio. We have the entire top floor of the building, and Rich Allen, he's the board op at the radio station. He's already gone in there and turned the lights on. So I still have to go up there and set up and everything. I'm really cutting it close, but oh well, I'll make it. Show can't start without me, right? So doesn't matter if I'm a little behind. So we're in the lobby. And we're on the top floor, which is the 5th floor. The elevator is slow, but I guess it can't go too fast when there's only 5 floors. About 8 minutes till showtime. And now the entire radio station is going to be, not just the studios rebuilt, but the entire, these are the offices. The offices are going to be rebuilt as well. They're going to rip up the carpeting and redo the floors. They've already taken everything off the walls. This is the radio station main control room. This is where the board op is. And that's a studio in there that I don't use. And all this is going to be ripped out. That's the end of yesterday's show. Okay. That's me and Steve talking. This is over there, there's another studio. Lots of equipment. All this is going. It's all going to be ripped out and replaced. Hey, this is inside. This is a studio where you sit down. Let me turn the light on. And there's not a lot of controls in here. And then there's that control room I was in. This is the station manager's office. Some other offices. And on the air. And in here is my studio where I work. And the board op has come in and already gotten some things going. So some of this I've shown before. This is my board, and this here is my mic that I plug into my cell phone when I live stream on YouTube. This is the delay, and what that means is 20 seconds delay. It's 20 seconds from this studio to the main control, which is where I was over there. And those audio sound bites I have right up here. And those are the ones I showed you. That was on my home computer, and I just transferred them over here, and this is how I'll play them. And of course, when I play them here, I can play and pause them. And then this has all the commercials that are going to air for today. That's all today's commercials that will run on the program. And you just hit one, and it plays, like this one here for Friendly Tire. I got the volume turned down, so let me turn it up. You can hear it.
Brian Craig here. Conservative Doug called me up live on the air to tell me about his experience.
You know, so that's the commercials. And that's it. All right, now I got to run. See, they took everything off the walls because they're getting ready to redo everything. The remodeling is starting. All right, guys, I got to run because I got to be on the air in, look at that, 8 seconds, 6 seconds. And this is the phone that I'm live streaming on YouTube. You can see the chat. And see, I'm using my wife's old phone. Hold on, I gotta hit the next commercial.
This is the Talk of South Florida.
Hold on.
95.3, 96.9, AM 1470, WWNN Pompano Beach, a VCMG live station.
And that tells me how long the commercial will be.
I couldn't believe the price they got on my tires. My car is
And over here, let me see if I can come in a little bit. Got a little glare there from the sign, but over there, those buildings over there, that's on the beach, that's on the ocean. And one of those buildings, I'm not sure which one from this direction, but one of those buildings actually belongs to President Trump. Isn't that something? Right down the street, one of his beach buildings. So now the show's over. See, it froze. I stopped the feed, so it froze on the YouTube live stream. And just give you a little bit of what it looks like. That's the phone that we use on the air, and I don't use any of these mics. And that's how I keep the live stream going. I have it clipped to the desk, and that's my iPhone. That's an iPhone 12 Pro that I use. And of course, all this equipment's going to be replaced. It will all be ripped out and replaced. And now I just got to clean up. I ended a little bit early today because I got to run out of here to get to the vet. And that's my headset mic. I will still use that in a new studio. I don't share a microphone. Community mics are like, you don't want to put your mouth up to a community microphone. I don't, at least. But there's a lot of equipment down here, a lot of wires. They're already working on it. That's why everything's open. And getting ready to start tearing everything out for the new studios they're building. Well, that's it. We had a great show today. We had great calls, a lot of new callers that are liberal, they'll come around if they listen long enough. Well, guys, Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please like the video. And if you're new to my channel, subscribe. My name is Brian. I'll talk to you next time.